Hi, welcome back. We are discussing natural glam today, and not just any old regular natural glam. I wanted to talk about how to get a natural glam look in a quicker fashion. I feel like sometimes when you're watching these videos that are supposed to be natural, there's still a ton of products involved. So not only did I want to talk about that really popular natural glam Instagram style look, but how we can eliminate some products and still get the same result. This video is sponsored by Sephora inside JCPenney. I have partnered with them again to talk about some new Tatcha products. Tatcha is a skincare brand that I have slowly been getting on board with. If you remember a couple months ago, I raved about their serum stick. Love this for travel, love this for really any type of makeup prep in general. But they have released a sister product to their iconic Silk Canvas Primer. If you remember when this came out, people just went nuts over this primer because it was so innovative. It's in a balm form, it's very smoothing. And so what they've done is they have created the liquid version to the original Silk Canvas. So both of these primers contain the concentrated silk powders, which give them that really unique, silky, velvety feel. Most of you know I'm not a huge fan of primers in general, but when I felt of the liquid silk one, it feels like a traditional moisturizer. It doesn't have the velvety balm finish that the traditional one has. You are either on board with this type of finish or you aren't. And so I think that's why Tatcha decided to come out with a sistering product to the original formula. I think that this formula is phenomenal if you have combination oily skin and a lot of texture going on. Fills in, smooths the skin out amazingly well. Whereas the new liquid Silk Canvas, it can do the same thing, but almost in a softer fashion. So when I applied this to my skin, it almost feels like a traditional moisturizer, and then it softens out to this just really lightweight, silky feel. This is just, to me, a little bit of a lighter weight formula. I'm going to read off the description for the liquid Silk Canvas Primer. It says it blurs with silk extracts that feel nourishing on the skin, instantly diminishing the look of pores, fine lines, and imperfections. Ultra fine silk powders help makeup glide on more evenly and last longer. And it also has a protective barrier derived from botanicals that helps keep makeup and pollution off the skin. So this is actually what I'm going to be using as my primer today. Tatcha recommends, this is funny, Tatcha actually recommends for, I believe, combination oily skin to use the water cream with the liquid. And then if you have normal to dry skin, use their dewy skin cream with the original Silk. Totally agree with that. I think all of these products are interchangeable. Personally, for makeup prep, I like the water cream a little bit better. I think that it has this texture that just absorbs a little bit quicker than the dewy skin cream. The dewy skin cream is gorgeous. I mean, it just looks gorgeous. But for some reason, I have just been enjoying the water cream for my personal makeup prep. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my water cream on my spatula, put that on the back of my hand. So since I'm not going for an ultra dewy look, that's why I wanted to use the water cream today. It has a water burst technology which breaks upon application, and it does not have a sticky or greasy finish. Very lovely, absorbs fast, and leaves the skin feeling prepped, especially for makeup. All right, so I've let that moisturizer sink in for about 60 seconds. It is completely melted into my skin. I'm left with a little bit of a glow. However, if I were to have used dewy skin cream, you're definitely left with a lot more glow. So that's just up to your preference. So now I'm going to take the liquid Silk primer. I'm just going to do one pump. And if I am using a primer of any type, I really just like to use that in my targeted areas. I don't use it all over my face. So for me right now, that's going to be my forehead. I have some breakouts going on right there. And I've just literally, since I was 3 years old, had forehead lines. So I'm going to use my primer there. And then also around my nose area, where my pores tend to be a little bit more enlarged. And just finish up with whatever's left on my chin. All right, skin is nice and prepped. Now we're gonna move into the base products. I'm probably gonna shock a lot of you all by saying for this natural glam look, I'm gonna be using a foundation that is more on the medium to medium full side. Preferably for my, obviously, preference, I would just go max with a medium coverage. But if you do have a little bit more to cover some areas you aren't comfortable with, it's totally fine to use something that's fuller for this. But I'm gonna be using the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Liquid. This is kind of just my go-to when I do want a little bit more coverage. I have a couple more recommendations here. If you are on the drier side, NARS Sheer Glow is something great to look into. And then if you're combination oily, I love Lancome's Tinidol Ultra Wear Stick Makeup. You could also look into the liquid form of this. I have both and I think that they are beautiful products. But the Bare Minerals one, I know it's tried and true for me. It lasts so incredibly well on the skin and it has just the perfect amount of coverage to it. So the reason why I'm going to be using something that is a little bit more on the full coverage or medium to full coverage side is because we're just going to skip concealer today. We're just going to knock out our complexion with something that has a little bit more coverage to it. And instead of taking the extra time to go in and spot conceal or add extra product to the skin. So I think when a lot of people see any type of full-on styled look, they think automatically I've got to run through the mill, foundation, concealer, contour, powder, that kind of thing. But concealer, it's not always necessary, especially when you're trying to do something that is a little bit on the quicker side. And so what I'll do generally if I'm in a hurry and I want a super natural look, I'll go for concealer and leave the foundation. If I want to bump things up, I'll just use something that has a little bit more coverage to it and then just skip out on concealer. So that's what we're doing today, and that's why I love this Bare Minerals foundation. I think it just has the perfect finish to it. It's lovely. Definitely one of my top favorite liquid foundation formulas. Obviously, bronzer is a big priority in giving the skin a little bit more life, so I'm just going to take one of my favorite liquid bronzers here that has a really nice neutral undertone to it. And with that same foundation brush, this is a Sephora Collection foundation brush, I'm just going to pick that up on the back of my hand and apply my bronzer how I generally would. If you are not comfortable with cream bronzer, that's completely fine. What you would do on the step is simply just set your face with whatever powder you enjoy, and then you would go in with a little bit of your powder bronzer. But we all know the name of the game for me, and I'm rarely on my powder bronzer game these days. It's generally always some type of cream or liquid bronzer. So just gonna add a touch of that, nothing crazy. We're not contouring the face. We are literally adding color. Just a little bit of color. And then to finish up the skin, I'm going to take a NARS Multiple. These are phenomenal products to use for not only your blush, but your highlighter. Most of them do have this nice dimensional shine built into them. I'm going to be using the shade South Beach today. The Orgasm is a classic shade. I use that one a lot in videos. This one just has a little bit more of a peach undertone to it. And I'm just going to stipple that onto the skin and immediately, like, who needs highlighter? You know what I'm saying? It just immediately, you have that glow from within, and then you can take your powder. If you need to tone this down a bit, just take your powder, whatever you're going to use to set your face with, and just kind of lightly tap over if needed. But I think these are such beautiful products. They're quick, they're easy, and they just add... I mean, it's crazy. They just add so much dimension to the skin. And finally, just going to set with a little bit of translucent powder. So here's the thing with natural glam. Most of the time it is little to no eyeshadow. Even on my wedding day, I wore maybe 2 eyeshadow shades and then let my lashes kind of do the talking. And still to this day, I have people come to me and they're like, I want my eye makeup to look like, you know, how yours did on your wedding day. And I have to let people know, okay, but you should know I used like one eyeshadow on my eyes. Everything else that really made my eyes pop were the lashes that I used. So that's kind of what I'm going to do today. I'm actually just going to take a little bit of this Sephora. This is their shadow liner sticks, and this one is in the shade number 41 Rose Gold, and I'm simply going to use this on my inner corner to allow my inner corner to pop and stand out just a little bit more. But other than that, really just going to keep the eyes bare. I am just going to take a little bit of brown liner and I'm going to very lightly tightline my eyes. And finally, I'm just going to pop some really natural lashes on. I know a lot of you aren't into lashes. I totally understand. I rarely use them as well. But when it comes to just really making your eyes pop and quickly without having to worry about applying a ton of eyeshadow, this is just a good way to pop something on to really make a nice subtle effect. So I'm just going to pop these on. And then I'm just going to put a tad bit of mascara on my bottom lashes to finish off the eyes. And to finish up on the lips, I'm going to use, of course, a very natural lip color. I'm using NARS Chelsea Girls lipstick with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk. All right, so I think that is all. This is a look that, in all reality, if I wasn't sitting here talking so much, it takes me less than 10 minutes to do. I really like doing this look for pictures when I just don't want to look overdone, but I do want certain features to pop. That's where the lashes come in. And I understand if you're not a lash person, mascara is totally fine. This is really just about giving you that nice completed base look, and then enhancing the other features along the way in a very natural fashion. Let me know if you're a Tatcha fan and which Tatcha products you enjoy. I definitely want to explore the brand a little bit more. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.